So I'm feeling a bit hypomanic today. That's like, a little bouncy. Um, I bought myself a new toy. Let me show it to you. See, um, I told you I like uh, building these things, but I haven't bought very many of them. And this one's cute. It folds up. I start. Well, I fucked that up, but anyway, it does. I start carrying that around, taking pictures again. I used to be really into it, not so much anymore, but anyway, bipolar. I'm trying to stay on topic, but one of the worst things about hypomania or mania is that you just can't stay on topic. Your thoughts are just like, and you just are all over the place. I mean, it feels pretty good, but on the other hand, unless you can focus, you don't really get anything done. You just make a lot of noise, um, I did, want to talk a little bit more about my experiences and how I feel um, w- when I'm in the various phases of my illness. And like right now, I'm feeling hypomanic, and I feel good. And I feel sure of myself. I am not having the psychosis of mania or um, the apathy or anhedonia of depression. But this. If I could feel like this all the time, yeah, way to go. I would definitely go for that. But unfortunately, it won't last, and I know that. And the only reason I feel that way right now is because I was feeling depressed a few days ago, and my doctor prescribed me a very small amount of Lexapro, and that has vaulted me into hypomania, which we knew would happen, and I'm probably going off of it in a few days to before I get all manic and crazy. But you know, you know. Uh, oh, there is one thing I wanted to point out. Um, I think a lot of people watch these videos who have either they're newly struggling with the illness or they have a loved one who is. And I think one of the things people think about the most and worry about the most is hospitalization and what it's like. And the first thing I want to tell you about hospitalization is, and this is for prospective patients as well as their loved ones, it's not unusual. In fact, it's quite commonplace for people to go into a hospital and completely regress and start having all kinds of crazy symptoms they weren't having before they went in the hospital. And that's because before they went in the hospital, they were holding themselves together really, really tightly, like really tightly wound, and they were just trying to keep everything together. And then when they got to the hospital, it was like they didn't have to anymore, and they just let it go. And it's like opening the floodgates, and it's also why sometimes your loved ones won't want to see you the first week or so they're there. It has nothing to do with you. It's just they know they're too sick to see anybody right then. So just respect their wishes and, just give them a little time. Out of breath. I smoke. Yeah, I do. Um, anyhow, so psychiatric hospitals, the thing with psychiatric hospitals is it's like 20 minutes of high tension crisis a day, and the rest of the time is just like head pounding boredom. I mean, literally, it's like pounding a nail into a board with your head, And they make you go to all these stupid groups like drawing group, art group, clay group, or my favorite is the hygiene group, which or cosmetic group or grooming group, which is my favorite moniker, because it sort of evokes a bunch of chimps like picking at each other. We do each other's nails in that group, but um, basically the groups are just a way to keep people distracted, keep people from, getting too social in the hallways, and just break the time up. It's hard when you're locked inside and there's not a lot to do. So and they have these education groups which are supposed to be education about various psychiatric illnesses, but you have to remember they have to play to the lowest common denominator, and a lot of people there are not up to sitting and sharing in a group. Usually there's like 2 or 3 people per group who are actually participating in the group, and everybody else is kind of wandering in and out, both literally and metaphorically. Um, then they usually have like a substance abuse group for the people with co-occurring substance abuse issues like me. What the hell? But that varies from unit to unit, and not everybody who has a psychiatric diagnosis has a co-occurring substance abuse diagnosis, but many of them do. So that's usually a popular group. Um, Recently, a few hospitals have started having like computer groups where they let some patients go on a computer and cruise the internet for like 10 minutes each, and that's kind of cool. Back in the old days, they used to have smoking groups, which were great. We'd go outside and have cigarettes. Not that I'm advocating smoking, but when there's nothing else to do, you really want a cigarette. Also, it isn't actually an interesting statistic that something like 90% of schizophrenics smoke cigarettes. I don't know what the percentage is on bipolar, but betting that it's high, because just from what I've seen, a lot of people with mental illness smoke, and sort of the more severe, it seems to be a direct correlation between the severity of the smoking and the illness. Who knows? By the way, right now there's like a raging thunderstorm going on, so it could lose power any second. That would be cool. Um. Anyway,